Hello everybody, my name is Lonlon, and welcome back to another episode of Panillae. I wanted to go over here to my ender chest shop, which is pretty much the only shop I have that makes profits from time to time, to check if we sold anything. And I also wanted to go over here to move his shop and buy some prismarine, because I want to use prismarine to go over here and mark with a line of prismarine the way I want the river that is meant to go over here to go into the lake. So I'm gonna do that, and we shall see what we have after that. And so I've marked the way I want the water to go, and as you can see, I've made more than one line. I've actually made a few of them because I want to have lots of rivers connecting and streams of water coming from the hills and connecting to the river, so we actually have some immersion going and more things to look at when it comes to water. So, if you haven't realized just yet, this episode's gonna be all about the custom rivers and custom bodies of water that we're gonna have spread out throughout our terrain. But before we can actually start building them, we need to first build the terrain around them so we can actually easily connect them to the terrain. And after we are done building the terrain, only then will we be able to build the actual rivers. So I'm gonna build the terrain in time-lapse mode, and I will see you when I'm done. And so, after about 5 hours of building terrain, I made the terrain that is meant to go around the rivers, but in doing so, I managed to once again create a giant dark space. Let me light it up. I spent a few hours yesterday collecting glowstone because something around here is dropping my frames. Maybe it's the amount of mobs that spawn below the terrain, or maybe it's the spam of torches I spam below the terrain. So I'm gonna try and use glowstone to make sure it's not the second one. And once again I need to fight and light. I'm not sure I can do this alone this time. I went in and put this much glowstone and the mobs just overwhelmed me. So I called Rainbow, and I think she might come and help us. Oh, look at this. Valkota decided to come and help as well. Everyone is here and fighting. Look. This is great. Oh, if I could hit anything, it would have been even better. And now, when this all mess is sorted, we can get to doing what we actually wanted to do this episode, which is to build a river. So let me get all of the resources we need real quick, and I'll be back. And so I return, and in my inventory I have some supplies. I've gathered a shulker box of coarse dirt, one of dirt, one of podzol, and another one of brown terracotta. So now we can get to building some rivers. Okay, so what I think we should do is we should go below the prismarine and make a line connecting between the prismarine and the terrain around it on both sides And after we did that, we can go and make a few more of them, like so. And I think I should also make sure that every single block that is connected to the actual terrain is coarse dirt, so the grass doesn't spread into the place in which we want the river to go. And now, after we have at least 2 of them, we can go ahead and we can connect between them and fill in the terrain. Now, I'm gonna take some puzzle and some brown terracotta right here, and I'm gonna add some texture into the ground so it's a bit more interesting. Okay, now I think I'm gonna go ahead and do this little method throughout the entirety of the river, going all the way up here, and I'll be back once it's done. Okay, so I did the same thing throughout the entire river, or at least up to this point, because after that we don't have terrain yet. And I decided I wanna work with the width of the river, because as you see, this part is just slightly more thick than this part, because there is a stream connecting, adding more water to the flow of the river. So that's something I really like, that I think we should keep in mind while doing this. But now we can go ahead and move to the next step, which is putting some water into the river. But we cannot simply just fill the river with water, because Minecraft water mechanics are not exactly the best water mechanics for actually making dynamic rivers. So we are gonna have to find some way that is pretty creative to make the water the way we want it. So I bought some diorite, because let's be honest, I'm not really gonna use it in buildings, so I'm gonna use it as a border block. So what we wanna do is we wanna make a border to border between the height elevations. So this is gonna be the surface of the water in this section, and right here, this is gonna be the surface level. And so what we want to do is we want to fill this entire section with water, and I am making sure to go one Y level by another Y level, so everything is water sources, because it's gonna make our lives so much easier in the future. And now that we have filled up both this layer and this layer, we can simply, hopefully, just be able to break the barrier and look like this. And so I think this is gonna be a pretty satisfying job to see with some replay mode action. So let's go ahead and make a time lapse. And so we have water in our river, which is really nice. But now what I want to do is to go in with some coarse dirt and replace the land around the river with some path blocks and some coarse dirt to make the ground seem almost like a bit muddy around the river. After laying down all of the coarse dirt and path blocks around the river, I tried to figure out what I wanted to do with the sides of the river, and this is my attempt at doing so. So as you can see, I came in with some bone meal and some leaves and even a little berry bush in there, and tried to add some vegetation and interest around the river. Then I added some puzzle to add some variety to the ground, and popped a few flowers here and there. After that I bone milled the river itself, put some lily pads, even some kelp as well. And then I went ahead and I tried building a few rocks outside of the river and inside of the river as well. And I think this is a pretty good thing and a pretty good way to make the edges of the river look. And so, after we've figured out what we want to do around the edges of the river, I'm gonna go and do that in a quick time lapse. After some time, terraforming does take a lot of time. We have finished the section of the river that we have prepared some terrain for, and I actually learned a lot doing this, and I'm pretty happy with the result. A few points if any of you ever wanna make a river like this. The first point is to make the terrain around the edges of the water go up a block or two fairly quickly to make it seem as if the water had been flowing here for quite a while and had made itself a little tunnel. The second point is to make all sorts of imperfections in the edges of the river. I think having blocks pop out like this and this and this really helps the river feel more natural. And the last point is to have a lot of vegetation. After all, water does bring life into places, so don't be afraid to use mushrooms and bushes and flowers and grass and even trees, everything. After I finished building the forts behind me near the river, Arran asked me to join him in some wither skull hunting, and I got a few really fun clips, so enjoy. This is really nice, Arran.
Thank you.
Did you do both of them?
Oh, have you not seen this one?
No.
Oh, this is
Of course you have a bee house. I have seen you playing around with some birch wood inside of this one though.
Proceed.
You use banners.
SMH my head.
It's so nice because you can't see the room, but you...
Yeah, they're like I don't know what you call them, just like things in front of the door instead of a door.
Yeah,
A door.
Not quite.
you're better than me at the interiors now. Let's go get some wither skulls now.
I only need one,
Okay,
but you know, the more the merrier.
yeah. And I can already hear blazes.
There's like 50 of them.
I dodged. Again, I'm insane. There you go. Oh, more of them over there. I see wither
Is that wither
skeleton.
skeleton?
Yeah.
Oh my god, that was quick.
Do you have loot in?
Yeah.
I should have bought a fire resistance potion.
Yeah.
Tell you what, instead I'm just gonna put my second totem of undying in my hotbar instead of the water bucket.
Don't Totem of Undyings give you fire resistance now?
And they do.
Do they
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Only now did the community ask for it when everyone's actually going to the nether. I see it, Arran. It's more to the right. I see it. Arran, swimming in lava is not recommended.
I have
Yeah.
2 extra display ports. I'm fine.
I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah, it's this way.
I'm pretty sure.
Leather armor is not very strong for swimming in lava.
Fun fact.
What happened?
We both just fell into lava.
I literally went, Arran, swimming in lava is not a very good idea, and jumped into a pool of lava.
It probably doesn't help. We're skipping along on top of volcanoes. Not always the best idea. We got one.
Nice. Do we keep on going?
Yeah, why not? We've only been here like 20 minutes. Oh my god, hello, you're a big fella.
This is going in the video.
Right, where are we going to now? My base, your base? I need...
What do we do now? Do we split the skulls?
No, I need them both.
Okay,
I
fair
will
enough.
give you this. I found these though.
Thank you.
Very nice.
I'm gonna keep them
Yeah.
forever.
Good, good. We should we we should go to everyone's bases and steal all their golden apples.
We should not.
Let's do it. Let's start with your base, Lonlon.
But anyway, I think I'm gonna have to end the video here. So you can leave a like if you liked the video. You can leave a dislike if you didn't like the video. And goodbye.